Alright, today we are in the Cybertruck. It is a Sunday morning. Version 13.2.8. We're going to do a self-drive to my dad's place. And I'm pressing the accelerator before I turn it on. And that is on. It's partially rainy today. I might do a little bit of acceleration. I'll do some accelerated just to get onto the freeway. Like right here, I'll do it. At that stop sign, I'll do it. At the next stop sign, I'll do it. And that's about it. Yeah, that should be about it. And I want to go over some stuff that I have here. But let's just get out of here in safety. There was a question someone asked. Is this too stressing on the system? And is it really necessary? Are you saving much time? Something to that effect. And my answer would be that if you're going somewhere and you're going to be late, you do want to do accelerated mode, just because you will save some time. It's not going to be a lot. It's just like somebody rushing. You look, there's a person getting in my way, and I just let go of it, and I let the system take over. So it's a lot. I mean, you're gonna save time, but you're not gonna save like astronomical time. See, system. I was pressing accelerate, didn't like it, so I let go. And I'm gonna scoot forward because I can't see, and so I'm whoa. So it really rushed that. You see how rushed that was? Yes, it does save time. Instead, I could have been sitting there waiting until all the traffic went by. Instead, now I'm gonna push the accelerator because I don't want this light to turn yellow and red, and it's not. I've made it already. That's the thing. So you might save a little bit of time. It's not going to be a lot. If somebody's speeding versus you driving normally, they may, out of like a 15-minute trip, they may save like 2 minutes. Get there by 13. Something to that effect. It's not going to be drastic, but if you're late, then yes, it's going to save you time. And in my scenario, I typically only use it if I have like a deadline to meet. If I'm going there by a certain time, like usually the trip to the place, I might use it. The trip back from the place, why would it? I don't really care if I lose like a few minutes just sitting in the car and watching YouTube, allegedly. Yeah, so it doesn't matter as much. Hope that answers your question in the comment section. There you go. Another thing, I mean, some people are getting a little bit up on edge about Lidar and if it's necessary or not. And I don't think it is. And from another, I'll go over what another developer, software developer. Oh, by the way, that's kind of my trade. Is I'm not a Lidar specialist, by the way. I just know that the inverse square law and the fact that you have to map Lidar the roads, it means that Lidar is a no-go in many scenarios, and it's going to be extremely slow to roll out and practical. Maybe that's why Waymo hasn't moved past like Los Angeles area for like a very long time. I'm in LA County, where I mean Waymo hasn't gone south of LAX. That's where I'm located, and what I mean, I'm not faulting them or anything. I'm just saying that rollout seems like it's not there. On top of that, there's a person behind Waymo. It's not really a one-to-one comparison. But I know some people that like to use that argument in my comment section, how they have Waymo. Oh, right, they don't. You can't buy Waymo, can you? Oh, so there it is. Okay, so there's this post by Rains. He's a software engineer. When it comes to Lidar, arguing about its necessity often turns controversial. people will counter with redundancy. And in autonomous driving, it's fair to value redundancy over necessity. Many are happy to spend just for the feeling of added safety. Sorry, I have to pay attention to the road. I am paying attention to the road, right? But I think the real issue isn't about necessity. Adding Lidar actually leads to inferior intelligence. Why? Because there's no consistent causal link between Lidar input and human driving behavior. Yeah, what have I been saying on this channel? The Tesla system is understanding human behavior. That's why it's going to translate very well to Optimus. Anyway, back to this. Humans make driving decisions mostly based on visual input, not Lidar point clouds. There may be correlation, but not causation. Therefore, Lidar input should be considered noise when fused with vision input, as sometimes it helps predict human decisions, but sometimes it doesn't. This inconsistency lowers the signal to noise ratio, confuses the neural networks, increases the risk of outfitting ends, and ends up making the intelligence worse. Like I was saying, because the two systems, they differ widely, so you have to make like a sort of a priority where in some scenarios you trust the Lidar and some scenarios you trust the vision. And that's because Lidar systems usually have vision as well, if that wasn't clear. Like they will have camera systems on cars that have Lidar. So the cars that have Lidar, in theory, they have the best of both worlds. They have vision and they have Lidar. The two technologies sort of conflict. That's why it's not adhering to Elon's first principles, the way of design. This is starting off over-engineered, and because of that, it's going to take more to design. The design is much more complex, and complex doesn't necessarily mean better. Like if you have a smartphone that is really complex, it doesn't mean that it's better than an iPhone. Just putting that out. Okay, so back to our drive for a little bit. We are on the freeway. It was raining, so I'm surprised that it's cleared up this much already. And there was a Facebook post on how the Cybertruck would wander off of the lanes, and this is kind of difficult. I can't, because of the sun and the reflection. In the rear you can see, but in the front, because the sun's in my eye, it's kind of hard to see the reflection of the lines. But as a human, we could figure it out that you stay behind the car in front of us, and the cracks of the floor can give us enough context. And I believe that's how Tesla figures things out too. So we're following this truck. This truck has an open bed, and you see those open beds often. I mean, in this area, I always see these trucks that they have like no tailgate, and my neighbor told me why. Does this one have a tailgate? I'm not sure, but the tailgates, they get stolen. Apparently it's the same car as this too. It's a Toyota Tacoma. So apparently it's really easy to steal those tailgates. And they just go around, and if your tailgate's not locked, they'll just check on it, They'll just check on it, and if it pops open, you just pull up, it just like comes off or something. Like there's a certain direction you move it, then it unlatches. So that is wild. I mean, on the flip side, with the Cybertruck, your tailgate, you press the button and it opens. You close it, it closes. It doesn't really lock, it just closes. However, you cannot open it if you don't have the key. The key is your phone. The phone is your key. So it is nice and smooth and really easy to use. So sorry about that side tangent, but it was related to how Tesla does things versus other companies. I mean, in the past, you used to have a key for those tailgates. I'm pretty sure that's how my 150 was. You know, my F-150, that's such a long time ago. Anyhow, to continue, I think the post had a follow-up. Real world examples, and by the way, this is by Raines, R-A-I-N-E-S. Waymo is more likely to misinterpret pouring water as a wall and become stuck, even if it is simultaneously receiving visual input indicating no wall, resulting in conflicting conclusions. Yeah, I think I just mentioned that. Which one do you prioritize? The Lidar or the vision? Who says which one is right? Lidar could say that this wall of water is a wall and then just stop. And vision can say, no, it's just water, bro. Okay, so anyhow. Huawei's ADS is more likely to crash into stationary construction vehicle on a highway because its sensor pulses are absorbed and scattered by the dark, rough surfaces on the vehicle's rear end. This causes the neural networks to disregard the conflicting visual input and mistakenly conclude that nothing is present. Well, Lidar is a reflective technology, so if it doesn't reflect well, you've got some issues, haven't you? Li Auto's AD Max is likely to drive more recklessly than normal humans would in certain low visibility, dangerous scenarios, causing passengers to feel insecure and uncomfortable. This happens because Lidar input suggests safety to the neural networks, while visual input indicates risk, leading to poor alignment with passenger preferences. And by the way, I believe Li Auto, they are a mixed LiDAR camera system. They are experimenting with visual only. So in 2019, that's where Elon Musk made a splash that was going to go visual only, that LiDAR was a fool's errand. And when you're working with the inverse square law and you're trying to overcome the inverse square law, it becomes very difficult. I mean, it's a physics type of thing, and he is physics major. Yeah, it's difficult to overcome. Yeah, he wasn't about that life. Okay, so let me see. I've got two more miles before I hit a interchange, and that's gonna be good. So the interchange. Let me see. I don't even see it. Oh no. Is it? Oh yeah. Okay, sorry. And so this thing gets you more times, in case you haven't noticed. And for all the people that are wondering, if you get self-driving and if you plan out a trip, how do you know where the gas stations are? Because gas stations aren't very prominently, charging stations aren't prominently displayed. It's not like a gas station. There's no big billboard. How do you know? Well, with Tesla, oh, what the heck? There is another Cybertruck. There's another Cybertruck on the road. With Tesla, you can see these are all your points. The ones in the red. It's in your display. Touch this display thing. Touch that lightning bolt, and then it'll show up all of your display items. So should I go faster or not? Oh, well, me looking around, it turned on these red lights, and if you haven't noticed, there's red lights on those two speaker grills. The two speaker grills will tell you if you're not looking around, like if you're not paying attention to the road, because the snitch camera above has noticed that you're not staring. And I can't tell if it's accurate or not, because sometimes that snitch camera will just snitch on me for the sake of it. I'm looking straight forward. Do you detect Asian eyes? Is that line? Look, it's going off. I'm just barely using my peripheral vision to look at these sensors, and it's going off because I don't know. It thinks that I don't have my eyes are closed. And it's because the sun is like beating down right on my eyes. I don't have sunglasses. I did not bring them, unfortunately. The way I should be getting over to the next lane, and I'm going to convince the car to do that. There we go. I don't know if the lane is clear or not. I should have turned this on. It's clear. And so this thing can be a distraction. If you get accustomed to this enough, then you can do away with the side mirrors. I'm not at that point yet, so I've been training myself to get accustomed to this so that I can erase the side mirrors. That does mean that whoever drives my car is going to be flustered as hell. Either that or they'll just turn on full self-driving. And at 70 miles an hour, we're going a bit slower than other traffic because it is wide open right now. Well, it's fairly wide open. Very little traffic for Sunday mornings. And the truck is good. Okay, so it is slowing down up here. And the truck is getting a bit close for my liking. And it did slow down. They're braking in front of us. Okay, we are slowing down some more. Yeah, I'm not sure what's the holdup up here. These two are just driving poorly. Yeah, the Tesla ain't having it. So it decides it's gonna try to pass up these two cars. And I could even help it, but I just want to relax at this point. There's no big rush on the freeway, so why? I don't have to get to my destination at a certain time. In fact, I tried calling my dad and he's not awake. So when I get there, I have to bang on his window or something. Maybe so it should. I'm gonna tell it to turn over though, because that car is annoying. That car was holding up, so I just overtake him. So one of the things I do wish that would be improved is the takeovers. The overriding system. There's still no way to make it to force, like maybe I want to exit here early. There's no way I can force that. I can press turn right. It's not going to do it. And forcing it to stay centered in this lane, there's no way to do that as well. The truck is deciding that it wants to go around this car too. we are just in standard mode. Not even in a hurry mode, and it's going 71. Not bad. It's not too much over on a 65 freeway. So it says we have 3.5 miles left. Okay. I guess that's what we have left before it's up here. There's charging stations along the way. Okay, looking at the screen too much, this is what happens. Is it going to go again? We are closing the gap on this car ahead of us. And let's see. Ooh, this car is trying to turn into our lane. Cybertruck ain't having it. We're moving too fast. So the next point. We should be going over soon because the freeway interchange is up here. See how much further we gotta go here. It's not. Okay, so it's just my eyes playing tricks on me. The floor looks like it was producing those lines for the freeway interchange, but it's not. It's just I can't see very well right now. And so if you have vision issues, that full self-driving might be helpful for you. And taking the bus might be helpful for everybody else. Wow, that is a big Tundra back there. So I wonder if the Cybertruck will ever make a full-size 8-foot bed type of truck. That would be major straight lines. Major straight lines. Alright. Closing in. Yeah, I was just considering like smaller trucks. If the if Tesla ever made a variant of a smaller mid-sized truck, how would it look? I know, like this Tundra head to the right of us. That's basically what a Cybertruck is. It's a full-size truck with passenger seat, or full-size passenger truck. And it's just one variant. Maybe Tesla brings up another version, or like a cyber SUV. Oh my gosh. You know how the Rivian trucks, they don't sell very well, but the Rivian SUVs sell very well. And Elon's got to be looking at that. Imagine a cyber SUV. Oh my gosh, that would blow people's minds. But I'm alright. I like the truck. I need a truck to carry stuff. But I know, like, a lot of America, they like the SUV styles more. Wow, so there was a car that was bursting by to the left. Tesla wants to go on that same lane. Very intelligent system. I wasn't even paying attention to that car creeping up on us, because usually I have the screen right here, right? See, but having this screen right here means that I don't have the navigation screen. I have to know where I'm going already. And asking me to remember where I'm going is too much these days. Should I just know the instructions? Asking for too much. I paid for this technology. Alright, we're closing in. So the drive has been ultra smooth. It was a long drive. No interventions. And Lidar systems, the claim is that they're inferior. I just haven't seen an actual test. I mean, Mark Rober has shown a test, He was using 2 hands on the self-driving test for a video that was named self-driving in the video title. Come on now. Am I exiting? I guess I'm exiting. Yeah, Lidar vision. What do you guys think? I think it was the right call. It probably is the right call. Humans don't need Lidar to interact in human life, and human behavior is the difference between the software. The software that Tesla has is more about human behavior and understanding how human behavior works. And once you unlock that, then you unlock the door for robotics as well. And very, very long-term thinker Mr. Elon did right there. You know, he's not going to share all of his secrets, and that's probably one of them that he's kept to the grave, that he's just trying to understand human behavior on like a software level. Alright, so we are getting close. This turn is usually slow for the car for whatever reason, and I'm gonna accelerate because I don't want to hit the red light, and there's no turn on red, and I've been sitting here already. Okay, so I'm just keeping close at this part. See, I've accelerated at the beginning of the trip and now towards the end of the trip. And that's it. I'm not going to overwhelm the system. I'm not going to overwhelm myself either. Just relax at this point. And so, like I was saying, vision versus Lidar. People don't need Lidar to exist. We don't even have Lidar. And you know, there's camera systems that use Lidar. There's camera systems that use vision, and that's always been the case. Lidar is not really new. It has deficiencies, usually just line of sight type of deals, and the inverse square law. Anyways, I am at my destination. Fairly good ride. It was super smooth. Was there any interventions? Yeah, I don't think there's any interventions for a 25 or 30 mile ride, and that's something that's outside of the scope of Waymo, which Lidar cannot do. Anyhow, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share. See you in the next one. Take care.